3, 2, 1, fire!
Our next guest on the Bar Gig Files has been calling me for the last couple of minutes. Let's give him a call back. Ladies and gentlemen, try to get a hold of the Couch Commander. It might be Gutpile. It might be Pub and Grub Comedy Tour headliner Mike Marvell. Let's see who answers the phone.
Hello.
Mike Marvell.
Hey, JerDog. I just tried to call you.
I noticed that. It was ringing through at the exact same time that I was trying to get the microphone hooked up.
I was premature again?
What's that?
Said I was premature again?
Well, you know, it happens to the best of us, Mike.
It happens to me quite a bit, so.
We are currently recording. So don't say anything too incriminating, but that was the perfect way to start the episode. Show a little bit of the technical difficulties, and then admit to both of us admitting to our prematurity. Hey man, I was on your website, and I know that we've known each other for like, what would you say, like 25 years?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, going back to the days when I would perform at the Arthur House in Platteville.
And that's been open for at least 25 years, yeah.
Yeah, and back then, you know, a comedy's kind of, it's always evolved. But back then, I remember a time when that real small town in the middle of southwestern Wisconsin, I mean, you could go to Platteville, but Arthur was off the beaten path. It looked like a bomb went off when you drove into that town. But that...
There was a cow pasture across the field. You get out of the car and you're like, farm living is the life for me.
Yeah. And at one point they were doing like a 3-night week. They were doing like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It was hopping. It was hopping for a while, and we started out just once a month. That's all we were doing, once a month, and then it just kept building and building, and Bill did a good job. He worked hard getting people in there, and and I think that's the problem with a lot of the places now is you can tell when you walk in how much they care about having comedy there. I mean, you've got some great rooms. I just Brady Gregorich and I just did that room in Nakusa.
Yeah.
Is that beautiful? God, and they're so nice, and they're happy, and what can we do to improve? And I'm like, man, you are on top of the game.
Yeah, it really does matter what the level of the enthusiasm of the venue and the people at the venue, because you could be the most hilarious comedian in the world, and if they're not behind you, it ain't gonna work.
Right.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, there's so many facets to it. Yeah.
And you've been driving thousands of miles, telling jokes all around the country, and performing in a whole variety of places: clubs, casinos, churches, biker bars, nursing homes, corporate events. We all say that in our intros and our bios, but for you, that actually is the honest truth.
Absolutely. I got more miles going backwards than most people got going forward. I mean, it's crazy, and driving through some crazy weather. Oh my God! And my wife Alice usually comes with, and we've been through some stuff, snowstorms, and just watching people spin out in front of you, and you're on your way to the gig, and I got to get there. And I did that show for you up in Ashland a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was raining, then it went to hail, then it went to ice, and then it went, snow. And I mean, as you drove, it was like, I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to, but you get there, you do it, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. And it's amazing how comics will drive through all of that hours on end sometimes, go through everything you just described, and then still be able to get on stage with the energy that it takes to keep the people laughing for an hour and a half.
Right. And then and people coming out to it. I mean, because they're excited, I mean, they want to see a show. I was hey, there's going to be nobody there. And they're there. There's people there. And you're like, oh, my God. And then you'll drive someplace else, and it'll be a nice day, and you're like, oh, it's too nice out. It's too nice.
Yeah.
People are going to be sitting around the fire and stuff. They don't want to be,
Yeah, they're going outside and doing their outside events, and they've got a little bit of cabin fever. They've spent all winter long cooped up in Ashland, Wisconsin. Finally, it's April. The snow is thawed. The lake is, you can go out there on the lake a little bit. And that's what they're going to do. It can sometimes be tough to bring in a crowd at that point. It is crazy. It's the shitty weather brings the crowds.
Right. Yep. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Have you ever been in a situation?
You know what?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you've got that outside venue in Chippewa Falls, just outside of Chippewa Falls. That place, too, is just amazing. I mean, people are outside. They got a fire going, and they got a nice stage built up and everything, and people are, just so relaxed. And it's almost, some comics don't like working outside. I love it because the people seem more relaxed. They can have a cigarette, have a smoky treat or whatever, And,
right.
And it's, yeah.
Well, and that's also got to work for you specifically. You've got the added advantage of being an outdoorsman in real life. Or is that just the character?
Yeah. No, man. I mean, I hunt, I fish. I live in Caledonia, and the lady across the street lets me hunt her land. I got the biggest buck I ever got with the bull back there. And she drinks Honey Jack. So there's a plus. I bring her a bottle. We sit and sip some whiskey and drink some beer, and man, I just I've been blessed. I get to do the hunting and fishing, and I'm retired now, so I'm working in my garden every day. I've been out working today, and I love it outside. My wife tells me I got to come in when the street lights are on. She's like, "Come on, you got to come in now," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right."
Well, and that's why all these audiences and crowds.
In fact, what's that?
I was going to say, that's why everybody just loves you so much, Mike, because like you do all the normal stuff and you relate to the regular person that's, they're in the middle of the nooks and crannies of America. They're coming to their bar. They probably spent their day out doing yard work and gardening. They're going hunting and fishing on the weekends. And you come in and you throw down the Gutpile, you throw down Couch Commander, you give them the Mike Marvell magic, and that reels them in.
Yeah, I when I was working full time, and I was like, I want to have fun. I don't want my night job to be the same as my day job, where I'm just like going to work. And so I just try to have fun. I mean, I say now for an introduction, he's more fun than a kegger in the woods. And that's basically what my show is. It is, I'm going to sing a little bit. I'm going to drink a little bit. We're going to have some fun. But you don't want to offend anybody. You want to have a good time. And different venues call for different styles and stuff like that. And 30 years of comedy, I mean, you kind of learn, okay, this is the way it's got to be. We got to do it this way tonight. And but I'm at my best when I'm at one of your bar shows. I mean, you set up some great venues, and the people are there to have fun, and I'm there to have fun. So it makes it so much easier for everybody.
That's something I learned from the late great Jim Wiggins, your good friend and mine. He
Oh,
said
Jimmy.
long time
Yep.
ago, he's like, JerDog, you have fun, they'll have fun with you. You'll never have a bad show.
Michael motorcycle. That's his name. Michael motorcycle. We're gonna have fun tonight, Michael.
And that guy was the original saloon comic. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh yeah. Fun guy on stage and off stage.
That's
Just to
right.
hang out with him and listen to his stories and stuff. Oh my God.
And that's how you got to be. I mean, if you're not having fun up there, you're right. Now it's just like a day job. What are you doing? It's going to pick up. The audience is going to detect that, and they're going to tune out.
Right. Right. Yeah, for me. That's what I want to do. I want it to be a party. I want it to be a kegger in the woods. I want, and I could tell when I'm going into a subject that somebody, they don't want to hear about. I don't do anything political. I don't want to hear about politics. I don't care what side you're on.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to hear about religion. I'm not going to make fun of religion because what you believe is what you believe, man. That's the basics of everything. So everything else, my family, and that's just it. Most people can relate because in the Midwest or even any place across America, family is most important, and you got kids doing dumb things, and you've got me doing dumb things. And I learned a long time ago that when I first started, I would make fun of my wife, and you could tell that women didn't like that,
Yeah.
And so I gave her a voice. Like King of Queens or the Honeymooners.
Oh, sure.
She's a little smarter than me. And she is smarter than me. I mean, so I don't pretend about it, I mean, and she gives me some of the best lines. It's unbelievable. She watches my show. She comes. We have fun. We go gambling, drinking, and we have a good time. We got to enjoy life. It's too short.
Yeah. What's your favorite casino to go gambling at up there in Wisconsin?
We like, there's a little place. It's Carter Casino, Pottawatomie. I mean, we were just at Mo Lake. I did a show up in not at Mo Lake Casino, but Wabena for you.
Oh yeah.
And we stayed at the Mo Lake Casino because Carter was full, and we had a blast. She was winning, I was losing. I took a half a edible, and I was happy as shit. I mean, I was like, hey.
I love that. My wife and I will go play craps together. We do the bubble craps where there's everybody shares the same in the middle. And it's great. If she's winning and I'm losing, we still wind up breaking even.
Right. That's usually what happens with us. One of us will be winning and the other one won't. And she'll be like, well, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, I'm on a roll. I'm on a heater. I can't leave.
Yeah. And meanwhile, we're still drinking for free.
Right. Yeah, there's so many nice casinos, and they're a lot of fun, I mean, as long as you don't abuse anything, everything is fun as long as you don't go crazy with it. But
yeah.
So, what's your favorite casino down there?
Well, we right now we like Resorts World here in Las Vegas because they've got that bubble craps machine I told about. It's a $1 minimum. So that's right up my alley. Nice. I'm not a high roller. Right. I can sometimes be high.
No.
But we ain't no high rollers. And then they got this new thing. It's called a Zooks, and that's like that's a robot car, totally driverless car, and it'll pick you up at the casino and take you just about anywhere else you want to go on the strip, and it's free right now while they're doing a.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's freaking great, dude. So that's what we like to go right now. God. We like to go to places where it feels like sort of like a place that I might have gone to in Wisconsin or Michigan back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not much for crowds. I don't like a crowded casino, and some of the big ones are just so crazy. So we like the smaller ones, and Alice likes to keep an eye on me. So.
Yeah. And with all the different types of venues you play at clubs, you do the bar gigs. You're like me. You're practically built for the bar gigs, but you also do the churches and the nursing homes and the corporate events and all of that. Do you change up much of your act depending on what type of venue it's in, or does the Mike Marvell experience pretty much fit into all of those?
I've noticed. I mean, I'll start out a little different for different events, and something I noticed. I've been doing, like you mentioned, some senior centers, and I mean, I'm 63 now, so I'm not too far from where they were,
Sure.
and it's easy to relate. And a lot of times they want to talk. I started doing a Q&A at the end of my set, and that actually is more fun because they got questions and they want to know this and that. Who's your favorite comedian? Who do you like? And who did you grow up watching? And
Yeah.
And my favorite comedians, I mean, there's so many, but I kind of like the older comedians, I mean, I love the Smothers Brothers when I was a kid, and I can listen to them. I can put them on and listen to them. And when Alice and I are out traveling, we'll go to Goodwill's, and I'll look for old albums, Rusty Warren and Mom Mabley, and I mean, Jonathan Winters, these old albums, and they're just classics. Classics,
I've got 2 Steve Martin albums mounted on the wall right behind me.
Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah. And that's a hard one too, because he was so physical and he did props and everything, but somehow the comedy still works even in audio.
Right.
A lot of people.
And I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Books at these Goodwills. I mean, I just read Don Rickles' book, and it's fantastic. The stories, the inside views, and stuff like that. And oh my God.
Yeah. The Rickles book. I think it's actually called Rickles' book.
Yeah.
That guy, and those old school guys are so great too, because they came up at a time when like stand-up wasn't big yet. It wasn't like, in the late 70s, the 80s. Those were the golden years we all hear all about. For me, the golden years is back when I could drive into Arthur, Wisconsin and do a 3-night weekend.
Right.
But those guys came up. There wasn't even comedy clubs really hadn't even been invented yet. You know what I mean? So they were going around just wherever they could in these non-sanctioned places. And when I'm sending in the Mike Marvells, the Steve Sabos, the Derek Lunas, the Katrina Browns, the Larry Reeves, and they're bringing back that style of comedy in the sense that it's relatable, it's for the average person, it's off the beaten path, it's in a unusual place as opposed to the traditional sanctioned comedy club where everything is set up perfect. It's kind of a throwback to an old school way of doing comedy, like what Rickles or Dangerfield or guys like that might have done.
Absolutely. And you know what I thought of the other day? I mean, we've got it so good with the GPS. It takes you right to where you're going. And I mean, when I first started and you first started, you had to, MapQuest was just coming out.
Yeah.
It was like crazy. And now, I mean, you set your thing and you're like, okay, I'm right on time. When I book a gig, okay, I'm going to be there at this time because I know that's what it's saying unless something happens, I mean.
Yeah.
God forbid. But it's unbelievable. These, can you imagine these old guys at some of these places that they went to, Comedy Bunker or some crap way out in the woods, and here they are, like, oh my God, Chris Barnes does an old joke that I stopped and I asked the guy for directions. He must have been the dumbest guy because I said to him, how do I get to Arthur? And the guy goes, my uncle usually takes me. How you get there? He goes, I guess I'm waiting for your uncle.
Yeah. And that's where we go. And that's, I think it takes a special type of comedian such as yourself to be able to go into a place like that fearlessly, by the way, and deliver the goods after you drove all day long. Some of those places will freak people out a little bit, but I'm like, dude, I've done comedy on a flatbed truck in a cornfield before. This is right
absolutely.
This is perfect for me. What, any other words of wisdom?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You're about to say something, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just agreeing with you. You're absolutely right. I mean, some of some of the gigs we've done, and you look back and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I did a show in Racine, Wisconsin years ago, and there was 2 people there, and the owner's like, well, you got to do a show if you want to get paid.
Yeah.
So I sat at the table and I talked to them for an hour, you know. I'm like, okay, I'm fine, you know. They want to talk, I'll talk. So
and that's what they like. And that's what the most memorable part of it, I think it is. Even though there's 2 people, they will know that they have gotten a special show. Even if you do a lot of the same jokes that you might normally do, you create that intimate experience, and they walk away feeling like they just saw something special.
yeah, you know, that's a thing too. I mean, I really a lot of comics don't like when the audience is talking back to them and that. And
Yeah.
as long as they're engaged with me and not talking to each other, it's fine, because they're experiencing something they're never going to experience sitting at home watching TV. Oh, I like that guy. He's funny on TV. You come to my show or your show or Uncle Lair's show, you know, you're going to get an experience. It's going to be unbelievable, you know, because you're engaging with the audience and you're having fun. And I don't make fun of people and try to hurt feelings. I'm not Don Rickles or anything like that.
Right.
But I want them to have fun. I want them to be engaged. I want them to say, "Wow, I'm coming back. I got to come back. You know, this is going to be fun." And
That's right. All right, we got you coming up on the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour on July 10th in St. Germain, Wisconsin. That's your neck of the woods. They're going to love you there at a place called Keg Stand, and they were very clever with how they did their name, because Keg is actually the initials that are put together. So it's a little double entendre there. They're going to love you. And you're working with your feature act is Chris Barrett that week. And then what else?
Nice. Chris is great.
He is.
Chris is fantastic.
And that's the other great thing about these bar shows. It's a great way for the up and coming comedians to cut their teeth a little bit, find out what this business is really all about, because it's not always going to be these perfect polished experiences you might have in a sanctioned comedy club that's got everything dialed in. You got to come in, you got to expect the unexpected. And
absolutely.
Have you ever worked with Jim Norder before?
I've never. I've heard his name around, and I've heard great things about him.
He's another headliner, and he's going to be opening for you. He's going to be in the area, and he's originally the Twin Cities. And July 18th in Balsam Lake at the Balsam Lake Lodge. It's going to be their first comedy night. So you guys are going to be popping their cherry. So that's going to be a good one.
Popping the shit is what I'm about for saying out naughty. I used to work at the drive-in, you know.
That's like, is that like one of the most Wisconsin phrases? Don't you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you know? Or yeah, you betcha.
Okay,
but
Mike.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and that's the fun thing too. I love that, you know, I'm going to work with a lot of openers and stuff that I would never normally see. And you built up such a business, man. This started because of COVID, right? I mean, you came out with this and you were like, I got to do something. I got to reinvent myself. I got to reinvent comedy, as it were. And
you're totally right. It was sort of a way to help get my friends and myself back in the game a little bit, like such as you, and you know, Uncle Lair, Katrina, other headliners that I'd done a lot of shows with that I consider good friends. I'm like, how can I help get everybody back in the swing of things, back in the game a little bit? And then we put this together because we always had some shows here or there that I would bring my bar show to, and then they would want to do more. And so we just ran with that, and then one thing led to another, and it just grew and grew and grew, because I think people in small town America, they're miles and miles away from a regular comedy club. They don't necessarily want to drive that far and risk a DUI after paying $16 for a bottle of domestic beer. And so I think that there really is a hunger for it. And if you're the type of comedian such as yourself and those that we talked about earlier, and you can go in and relate to them, and give them what they want and leave them wanting more, they'll keep coming back over and over and over again. They don't want to burn it out. Like you said, even back in the day, Platteville did once a month, and it was the perfect rotation. And so there's a formula to all this. It's going to be a little bit different everywhere, and it takes just the right special type of comedian to be able to deliver the goods. You're one of them, Mike my friend Mike Marvell.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And man, I hope we can work together sometime soon. Are you out on the road at all?
No, I do. It's going to be real hard to get me out of Las Vegas, but I do. I just got back off of a 3-week run in May. I did Florida and Georgia and South Carolina, and then I also go around traveling with the World Series of Comedy. And
okay.
But yeah, that would be so much fun. You know, we could look at like next fall. And we put together like a JerDog and Mike Marvell party hour, happy hour, party hour, comedy hour kind of thing. You know, we've got
that good. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, because we're similar enough that it would work, but we're different enough that it's not just the same thing all night.
No. Yep. That man, I would love that. That would be a blast. Do a little tour. That would be fun.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. Now you got me thinking. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike.
Well, you're the thinker. You're the thinker. I'm the drinker. So.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll both be the drinkers when I get into. I don't know if I can anymore. I used to go hard, and then I realized. I'd go home on Mondays, my liver's screaming. I'd have to be a kale drinking mofo just to be able to handle going out on like a drinking kale and blackberry smoothies. Just to
right. Mine left a note for me on the pillow one day. He's like, "I'm leaving if you're going to keep this up." I'm like, "All right, liver. All right, I'll keep you."
Yeah, you're an alcoholic when your liver's writing you a Dear John letter.
Right.
All right, buddy. Virtual round of applause, Mike Marvell. There it is. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you, JerDog. God bless you, buddy.
You too.